I'm Trish. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make old-fashioned scalloped potatoes. This is the same recipe that your mom and grandma probably used. You're not going to need any special equipment or fancy ingredients. You just need potatoes. You'll also need some flour and milk. If you want to fancy it up a little bit, you can add some sweet onion and some pepper and salt. That's it. Let's get started. You'll want to peel your potatoes. You want to slice your potato very thin, cone style like this, and that's for aesthetics. And we're going to add those to a steamer and put them in the microwave. With our potatoes sliced and in the steamer, we're going to add a little bit of water. We're going to pop these in the microwave for about 10 minutes. While my potatoes are microwaving, I'm going to slice the onion into rings. Now I'm a huge fan of Pyrex for baking, and I have an 8x8 dish because there's only 2 of us. And I'm going to grate some butter into the bottom of it. You can slice it up, you don't have to grate it. This is just a preference that I have because it gives me a little more even distribution. There we go, we've got butter all over the bottom. Next, I'm going to take my onion rings, and my first layer is going to be onion. That way the flavor can kind of bubble up through the potatoes. And I like these nice big rings. I don't like little pieces of onion, but that's just a preference. You can do it however you prefer, of course. There we go. Okay, we have steamed these for about 10 minutes, and that step is not critical. If you don't have a microwave, don't worry. It'll turn out fine if you skip that step. I just like to do it because it speeds the process up a little bit. What you're going to do first is take your potatoes and layer them over your butter and your onions. I've rinsed these in cool water so they're not hot. Once you have your first layer of potatoes, you're going to take some flour, and I put mine in a little metal strainer, and I just tap it over the potatoes to get a nice even layer. Again, you don't have to go to this extra step. I just like to do it. It's my habit, and it's what makes me happy. But you can use a spoon, use your fingers, whatever you'd like, just to get a little layer on there. There's also some variations. If you're not kosher like I am, you can put ham or bacon in this. You could use a hamburger. You could, if you are plant-based, you can also put peas in this to get extra protein. After my flour layer, I'm going to sprinkle some black pepper, and I like to use either a coarse ground or a medium coarse ground. That gives it lots of flavor. Then I'm going to put more onions. Next, you're going to take your butter, and you can either slice it or grate it. I like to grate mine. Gives us a nice even layer. We'll spread that out, and then we'll start with another layer of potatoes. This is going to be really delicious. There's a lot of little add-ons that you can do to make this a complete meal. If you're plant-based like I am, you can add peas, which give it a wonderful amount of protein. You can add tofu to this. Sometimes to add a little extra color in the spring, I put shredded carrot in along with my butter layer. Now we've got our second layer of potatoes in, and we're going to put more flour on here. The flour and the butter combined with the milk are what gives this the wonderful creamy gravy that we all like. This is a really easy Tuesday night casserole to make. I often put this together and then I go do my other chores. I put in my laundry or I'll go walk the dog. You might need to pick up your kids from their practice and lessons. Okay, at this point, I'm going to pour in my milk. You don't need to mix this. That would kind of defeat the whole purpose. For my 8x8 pan, I used 3 cups of milk. If money's tight, you can always use water. I've done it before. It works. I'm going to put a little more flour on top. Very good, we're ready. I'm going to cover this with aluminum foil and I'm going to put it into a preheated oven at 350 and I will check back on it in 30 minutes. This has been baking for about 40 minutes. I've just removed the foil cover and I'm going to give it about another 20. I want for the sauce to thicken up a little bit before I pull this out, and it should have a nice light brown color on the top of the potatoes. Isn't this gorgeous? Our scalloped potatoes spent about 40 minutes in the oven covered with foil and another 40 minutes uncovered so that we could achieve this nice brown color. You can put breadcrumbs on it, but you really don't have to. It's a perfect dish to make when you're low on supplies and you want something that's really hearty and filling and just comforting. I hope you make this and I hope you love it. Bon appetit!